The most powerful people I've ever known were kind. They weren't people pleasers. They weren't pushovers. They were clear and grounded and able to say no without guilt. Their kindness had a real strength to it. But when you've grown up with trauma, especially the kind that left you isolated and unseen and unchosen, overlooked, your version of kindness can get warped. You're not trying to manipulate people, but you're hoping it will make them like you. You know what I mean? You want them to stay with you. They want to approve of you. You try to be helpful and easy and selfless. And when it doesn't work, when people ignore you or use you or walk away, it hurts. It might even really piss you off. Now, that's the difference between true kindness and trauma-driven kindness. One is a gift. The other is a disguise. It's a fragile one at that. And people can feel the difference, even if they can't name it. If you're someone who got hurt early in life, chances are you became the good one. Many of us did. You became the helpful kid, the low-maintenance friend, the girlfriend who doesn't need very much, cool girl. You may have been told that your needs were just too much, way too much, that your feelings were inconvenient, that your anger was scary or selfish. So instead of developing a sense of who you are, you developed a persona that could survive. You could be agreeable and flexible and always thinking about other people. But as an adult, this backfires and you show up in your relationships doing all the work, taking care of everything, smiling when you're exhausted. You think you're being kind, but what others perceive is insecurity. And whether they mean to or not, they begin to disrespect you. Now, this absolutely happened to me in my first serious relationship. I adored my boyfriend. He was a musician, and I'd carry all the equipment to the van and from the van to the club for him. And I changed the classes that I took in college so I could learn things that would make me useful to him, you know? But my gosh, he was so unfaithful. Over and over again, over and over. And I knew it. And I thought I had to act like I was cool with it. You know, I thought it was like you were supposed to do that. I thought I was obliged to accept his behavior and not have expectations. So we were at this club once and he was playing and I went into the ladies' room and there was this young woman crying, like sobbing. And she was telling her friend that her boyfriend of many months had just broken up with her. And then I heard her say his name, and it was my boyfriend. And this guy, who I guess had 2 girlfriends and was lying to both of us, I mean, he and I lived together. I thought in that moment that since he broke up with her, this is the weird part, I thought that somehow I won. I won the contest. He broke up with her and chose me. I was so desperate to keep him back then, I'd basically put up with anything. And he knew it. And you can imagine how everything all ended. What happened was somebody else won him from me. And have you ever had that happen with a partner or even a friend? The mistake isn't that you care about people. It's that your care is disconnected from truth. I was not looking at reality. I was cut off from how I really felt, which was terrible about his cheating. And I was jealous. I was undermined. I felt miserable, but I thought I had to do it. So that disconnection is not anchored in discernment. You need discernment. You need self-respect. You need boundaries. But that, you know, when you get all confused that you're not allowed to have that, it just fuses up with fear. And people can feel that in you, you know, when you're just like a mushy wall that you can, you know, you don't really stand up to anything. They don't need to honor you. They don't need to respect you. And so the relationships that last are people who will act that way and you who will put up with it. Even if they like you, they don't trust you and they sense that you're not telling the whole truth. You know, it's obvious if you're just putting up with mistreatment, you're not telling the whole truth and that you're holding back what you really feel, that you'll contort yourself to be liked. And ironically, that kind of, you know, niceness makes real intimacy impossible. It's so hard how early trauma can affect everything about your relationships today. If you want to know the signs that childhood PTSD might be limiting your capacity to have good relationships today, I have a quiz you can download, and I'll put that link in the top row of the description section below this video, so you can have your own copy if you want. So here are 8 kinds of kindness that might be pushing people away from you. All right. Number 1, you apologize when nothing was your fault. You're trying to smooth things over. But when you do that, it reads to other people like weakness. So let silence stand. Let other people reflect. You don't have to rush in and make it all okay. Number 2, you offer to help before anyone asks. And that makes people feel crowded and like you're angling for approval. You can wait until help is requested and just focus your energy on yourself for a while. Number 3, you laugh off insults and rude jokes. If someone says something demeaning and you laugh to keep the peace, you're teaching them how to treat you. So just say, that's not funny. Number 4, you make excuses for bad behavior. Like, oh, well, he's had a rough day, or she means well, or they had a lot of drama, right? So you're calling this sort of excuse making compassion, but you're protecting someone who is hurting you. Why would you do that? Stop. Number 5, you over-explain your feelings. If it takes you a 10-minute preamble to express discomfort, you're not setting a boundary, you're begging. So keep it short. Number 6, you try to be easy to love. You're not being real, you're performing. And people can sense the gap between your performance and your presence. They feel your anger when you're getting mistreated. You may even be setting them up to resent you for the hurt that they can feel because their nervous system feels it, even though you're trying to hide it. So this false kindness didn't come out of nowhere. It forms in the cracks of abandonment and loneliness. And for a lot of us, it was a way to keep people in our lives at any cost because the alternative felt unthinkable. Now, by the way, if you're doing all this work to make people love you, it helps to know what really prepares you to be a great partner. I have a free PDF that walks you through traits that matter. It's about things in yourself that you don't want to leave unhealed. These are the traits that prepare you for what works in a relationship. And I'll put that in the second row of the description section below this video. Now, when your emotions weren't met with comfort when you were little, you learned to hide your emotions. And when your needs were met with silence or ignoring you, you learned to disown your needs. So when people only loved you when you were happy and nice, you may have learned to pretend to be happy for them. It's like a performance, but you paid for it by not getting loved. No one can fix this now except you, because this performance is exactly what's keeping real connection out of reach. You don't need to be less kind. You need to be more honest. Real kindness doesn't cost your dignity. It doesn't contort you. It doesn't disappear when someone gets upset. Real kindness is strong. It's quiet. It tells the truth. It protects what's sacred, including you. So you don't owe anyone your silence or your over-functioning or to, erasing yourself. The people who honestly love you can only love the real you. You might as well start being real, starting now. Now, when you clear out the false kindness that kept you small, you make space for the real thing, the kind of kindness that changes everything. It doesn't beg, it doesn't hide, it doesn't try to earn love. It flows from clarity, from truth, from genuine feelings of generosity and love. And when that kind of kindness moves through you, it's not only respectable, it is love itself. If you like this video, I've got one that you're going to love right here, and I'll see you very soon. You didn't have a chance to make mistakes based on your own choices. You didn't have that chance enough as a young person, and you're paying the price right now. It's very difficult to make a satisfying choice or decision, nothing fits.